Alright, David Harry here. Now what it is, this video is going to show in a bit more detail the inside and whatnot of the microphone compartment for the shotgun mic on the Media Mod. Now what it is, I didn't actually plan on putting this up because I didn't know whether people would find it interesting. But what it was, I'd shown it to me YouTube Bezzy, Mr. Ian Craig, and also me Bezzy David Hutchman as well. And both of them said, you've got to put this up just so, you know, you've got a record of like what I'm doing with the module, and because it will further explain a lot of things to a lot of people as well. So what I'm going to do is show you like the inside of the microphone compartment for the Media Mod and go into a little bit more physical detail as to what is kind of wrong with it, and in my opinion it's been made to look like something that it obviously isn't. Now another interesting thing here is, yeah, watch through this, and if you're interested in such things, definitely watch what I've got to say after I do this piece now. Now, bear in mind, this piece was just a bit rough and ready, only because I'm just like dead excited to be getting on and doing something with the Media Mod. So I'd already kind of half butchered it, but you'll definitely see exactly what is going on with that cavity and, you know, basically the bit where the microphones all go inside of and all that kind of stuff, all the capsules. Anyway, watch this, but definitely if you're into this stuff, listen to what I've got to say after it. Alright, so there's the Media Mod all in bits then. Now the only thing is here, obviously this all looks mangled, and the reason why that is because I've already had it all open once before and I super glued it to put it all back together again, and then this time round to open it I made a bit of a mess of it because it was all super glued originally. So let me just quickly go through things here. Now hopefully the let's see, the focus should be okay here as well. I'm trying to get the camera as close as I can so I can even zoom in further in post as well. But what it is, that's the side filter there, or the side mesh that's on the, you know, the Media Mod is standard. And then there is the little bit of foam that normally sits inside there, which directly covers those little tiny mic capsules. Yeah. Okay, so that's those two bits. Let me get them out the way. Now, these are just some bits of foam as well. One goes on the front on the inside and the other one goes on the back on the inside. So that's the little bits of foam there. Let me just get them out the way. Okay, now the mess that I've made here is the front. Now this is that's the mesh that would go on the front normally. As you can, that's proper mangled. And then also there's like a little bit of a mesh that sits behind that as well. So that would have gone in there, and then, hold on, and then that would sit over the top of it as well. In fact, right now I'm just going to cut away to a picture of what it should look like. Okay, yeah, so again, this is what it looks like now after I've had my hands on it. So let me just pull these things apart here. Now I'll get that out the way, because here is what we're going to be looking at, which is what I think is the most disingenuous part of it. As you look at the front here, that looks like it could easily support a capsule behind it. Now obviously it's blocked off for the best part here, and I'll show you why in a second. But just so that you know, there's a 10mm ECM. Now, you know, these are like typical of, say, Primo capsules, which are the ones that I personally use in a lot of my little mic builds and stuff. So as you could see, that could easily fit in that space or the circumference of it. And also, that is a 15mm, I don't know, it's a 14.5, 15mm capsule. And actually this one is the capsule from a Rode Video Micro. And as you can see, that also fits with the circumference. But here's the bit that I'm really annoyed with, because as far as I'm concerned, this here, the look of it is just for show. As far as I'm concerned, that's the only thing it can be for. I'm not accusing anybody of anything here. I'm just saying that from my point of view, that's all show and nothing else. And here's why. If you have a look on the inside, that's where those two little tiny mics are, the little omnis that are inside the body. That's the holes for them. But if you have a look at the compartment that they sit in, from the front, that looks like it's a nice round kind of tubular space. But as you can see there, it isn't. it's hardly half of it is actually a space. So even if you had a 10mm capsule and tried to put that in, even that won't fit in the body, as you can see there. So for me, I mean, well, actually, there's the one off a micro. That's definitely not going to fit inside there. You can see that quite clearly. Now also as well, that space there should all be open as well to allow air movement and sound in and all the rest of it. But as we can see, it had like 3 holes in the back of it on the inside. Let's see if I get that a bit closer. I've mangled it a bit there as I've been opening stuff up. As you can see, I've mangled this on the back here. But this is just in preparation for something that I'm going to be doing with it to try and get a microphone on it. Okay, so as you can see anyway, that whole thing there, as far as I'm concerned, and this is just my opinion, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I just think that that was always meant to look like something that it isn't. So obviously, you know, when the grill, well, before you mangle the grill, or before I mangled the grill, whilst that grill was on there, that looked to me like it was always meant to look like it was a microphone that it obviously isn't, because the original shape of it, again, in fact, actually, again, I'll cut away now to a picture. So as you can see there from that picture, that actually does look like it's something typical of what you would expect from a cardioid microphone. So coming back to looking at this again, despite the fact that it's not a shotgun and never could be, if that was actually a proper little space there to hold a cardioid capsule, like, you know, something like that off the Rode Video Micro, for instance, that would definitely have worked as a cardioid mic, obviously, as long as it had the space behind it here, which it doesn't do. Okay, so I think that'll kind of sum up, you know, what that all looks like. All right, yeah, so there you go, Dan. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, there's a lot of like, this is meant to look like something that it isn't going on there. I don't know whether you think, you know, maybe I'm being a bit harsh with these things, but for anybody who's seriously into their microphone stuff, and for anybody who also looked at the Media Mod and looked at that big round thing on the front and thought there'd be a nice big capsule sitting behind that, a cardioid capsule, it's going to be awesome for vlogging and stuff. If you actually thought that like I did, you can clearly see there that, one, that is not the case, but two, and it's my opinion, I think that's been deliberately done to look that way. Anyways, let's get past that bit. So obviously that's all a bit mangled because I'm doing something with it. Now I'm going to show you what I've done with it. Right, and there will be a bunch of videos coming up with this one. Now, check this out. Right, I'll show you it there now because I know the camera will definitely pick it up in focus. Now what I'm going to try and do, so I'm just looking at my little monitor on the side of the camera. Now I'll try and get it closer. I can't guarantee whether this will get picked up. If I put my hand behind it, it might pull focus. Hold on. Hopefully that is now in focus. And what we can see there is that it's a bit wonky and whatnot. It's the front barrel of one of the little small microphones. This is actually the Comica CVM VM10 barrel. And inside it is the capsule of the Rode Video Micro. Now what it is, I'm going to be doing a how-to and all kinds of stuff to do with this and basically showing exactly how I've gone about it. And as you can see out on the back there, it has a short cable that comes out and plugs into the mic socket. Hopefully we can see all that properly. So basically what we're seeing there is effectively an external microphone, or the GoPro is seeing it as an external microphone. But I'm obviously embedding the mic onto the GoPro. Now I know this all looks a bit nasty and a bit mangled and stuff, but it's only because I'd already kind of had it all open before and put it back together with super glue, because I thought, well, I'm not going to bother with this any further, because I thought, well, I might as well sell this one as well, because I didn't really like it. I mean, I liked it for its core function, don't get me wrong, but I could already do that with the original GoPro adapter. And I was talking again to Ian, and Ian basically just turned around and said, like, well, why don't you just get the Ulanzi case and put your original adapter in? And I was like, you know what, yeah, that's definitely right. So, you know, me and Ian had discussed this at great length. So if you're looking for external microphones, there really is no point in getting this if you've already either got the original little mic adapter, or you can pick that up cheap secondhand maybe, and then just throw it in a Ulanzi case. And plus the Ulanzi case is going to offer you like far more protection. None of this having to unscrew things and pull it all out. You just get access straight to the side for the battery and the SD card whilst it's all in the case and things like that. So yeah, one of them things, I don't know, do you go for the convenience of this but then get messed about with all the unscrewing of it, or do you go for the Ulanzi case with the original mic adapter? And it's a lot tougher. And in fact, you can put a lens cover on the front then, you can even put filters on, all kinds of stuff. Anyways, I'm rabbiting on like a divvy here. Right, what I'll do, I'm going to get one of the Ulanzi cases and I'm going to show you the pros and cons between using the original mic adapter with the Ulanzi case and then the GoPro Media Mod setup. And most importantly, the whole thing about like how quick you can do stuff with the Ulanzi setup as opposed to this. But anyways, yeah, as you can see, this is what I've done with it. Now, what it is, there's going to be links in the descriptions below. Maybe some will pop up here as well, which will take you to some initial, very quick prelims. One prelim is me testing this, because bear in mind, it's got the capsule off the Rode Video Micro in. So I'm testing it as is like this against the Video Micro being put on top, just to see what differences there are or not. And that particular video, in it, I've realized a couple of things to do with the noise levels. So yeah, I think I explain it a bit more in the video, but it's not a problem with my construction because the same noise levels occur with the Video Micro as well, just being plugged in as an external mic. Obviously, it's all being done indoors, these tests, and the reason for that is we've got hurricane weather at the moment in the UK. Can't go out with any microphones, it's far too windy. And then there's another one where I test this against the internal mics, again just sitting here indoors. These are both very, very rough prelims, but there'll be links, like I say, would have been popping up here, but definitely links in the description. So seriously, go and check them out if you're into all this stuff. But needless to say, as soon as the weather picks up outside, I'm definitely getting outside and testing these. Now, so far, the Rode Video Micro capsule I think sounds great in it. I'll try the Comica CVM VM10 Mark II capsule as well, because I do really like that one. I've tried a few others, they're not so good. But what I'll do like a how-to, how I've gone about doing it. Although my particular one looks a bit messed up now. But when I go through the how-to, I'll maybe kind of suggest what capsules to avoid out of the common capsules, only because I've already tested. I will have tested a lot more by that point. Then obviously, once I've settled on like the 1 or 2 capsules that I will recommend, I'll do a couple of videos on them proper, not these prelim type things, but me going out proper doing it, in the park for like, proper, good sound, and then head off into town, busy environments and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm sorry I've been rabbiting on here, but if someone's got to the end of this, I think they would be interested in what I'm saying. So just one last look. I mean, see, to be honest, at this point, if this is what GoPro could easily have done this, but not without the barrel on the front. They could have embedded the capsule in there and had all the porting associated for cardioid response and all the rest of it. They could easily have done it. And the one thing that I have to ask myself right now as well is, why didn't GoPro just get in touch with Rode microphones and basically say to Rode, listen, do us a favour, we're going to come up with something that we need to be the best of its type ever. Can you design the audio subsystem and the mic system and, the actual microphone body on this? Why didn't GoPro just get in touch with someone who knows how to do these things like Rode and ask Rode to do it? Because on that point as well, see Rode, I don't know if people are aware, but the like the shock mounts that Rode use for all their microphones, I think nearly all their mics use them now. They're designed by Rycote. So, I'm going to hazard a guess that one day, like, Mr. Friedman, who owns Rode, woke up and went, I make amazing microphones, but, me shock mounts and stuff are not the best in the world. And Mr. Friedman just turned around and went to himself, do you know what? I'm going to get in touch with the people who do it the best and either license their technology or get them to build it for me. So if companies like Rode, who are amazing at making microphones, can get in touch with another company to assist them to enhance their products and make them better, why didn't GoPro do the same thing and just get in touch with Rode and just say, look, do us a favour, we're not very good at microphones, can you do this for us and make this the best thing it could possibly be? And if that were the case, what you'll start hearing from the stuff that I do with this would be very similar to the results of what, you know, Rode could have done, you know, for GoPro, if GoPro had just said to Rode, make this better for us, you know. I'm not saying, and by the way, I'm not saying for one moment that what I'm doing here is better than what Rode could do or anything like that, but it just give you a really good basic idea as to the possibilities of what this could have been, and it would have looked a lot neater than my botched attempt as well. Anyway, check the links and all the rest of it, and if you're into this stuff, I will be doing a few more of these things as well. And thanks very much to Ian Craig as well for prompting me to do it, because I think in the end it is a good idea. And also Hutchie as well, thanks for pushing me on it as well, for making a, you know, documentation of where I've been getting up to with these things. Anyways, I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.